No.
I'm gonna take that where he said I'm not the biggest fan of drill, and then I'm gonna have a video of him at Cello side by side. Next, because he just said I'm not the biggest fan of drill, you know, and then next week I'm gonna have a video of him at Cello side by side.
Cello's not bad.
Cello's different.
Where's the difference?
Because Cello's cold. Because Cello's cold. That's what the difference is. But yeah. Hey! We in this bitch. Everything's recorded. Everyone's doing everything. This is a very light start.
Is it recorded?
Yeah,
Can you hear us?
Proper?
Can you hear me, Simisola? Talk now.
Hi.
Yeah.
To the mic, hello.
But, yeah.
The cameras are recorded?
Yeah.
We're good. Nah, y'all niggas are sick. Which means inevitably, by the end of this episode, I'm gonna get sick.
You're gonna get sick anyways.
I'm not even really sick, so it doesn't make it.
No, you're fully sick.
Oh no!
You are fully sick.
Actually, no.
You're gonna call it sick like one day this week.
I'm not calling it sick.
What's good? I always work Christmas period.
Because there's nothing to do. And then
everybody's off.
Yeah.
And they'll say, log off at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, because everybody's in a good mood, so you're still...
Yeah, cash money.
You do the same way, because a lot of the way I just like work from home, like, let me chilling.
So you're not taking any time off?
I took the first of... the first 2 days of the new year, I took those off.
Okay, like
apart
this.
from that,
Like the 3rd and the 4th, because you have the Monday off anyways.
Yeah. So apart from that...
And then Christmas, you didn't take anything off?
I don't fuck with Christmas.
He says this every year. Every year he says this, still fuck with Christmas.
So what do you do on Christmas, actually?
I spent 2 with you last year.
Yeah, when we were there for this Christmas Eve party, the main intros every year.
And then I was there on Christmas as well.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, you can come this year if you're around. Oh, no, you're not. Are you?
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. You can.
Why people on the Christmas on the pod?
Wait,
Just like, on the live on the pod, they're inviting people to my house on Christmas.
It's
Now you know how that. Now everybody knows the dynamic of the house runs. I was like, alright. They'll tell me who's
Yeah,
coming.
but it's only Deji, Joe.
Nah, I even tweeted them in a circle today. I'm like, I'm making a lot of new couple friends. Yeah. I swear to you, none of these people better break up. Because I am not trying to get with new partners.
You know what, yeah?
I'm not trying to get, like, if you're listening to this, yeah, some of y'all better marry, because once you want to introduce me to your new partners, I'm gonna be like, it's not happening, bro.
You know, do I have to pretend like this one too?
Do you know that one? Only here by circumstance.
You people are rude.
Nah, man.
But it's true.
Yeah,
No, you're rude.
yeah.
But it's true.
It gets like that, because when we're hanging out with people, I'm like, I be hanging out with couples all the time now. These niggas better love each other for the rest of their life.
Well, how do you man feel about like double dates and stuff?
Double dates?
No,
I don't mind it. Oh, go away.
No,
I don't like this.
Why?
Because I like to separate my
They do
life a
too much.
little bit. You know that kind of way?
They're doing all this PDA. Now somebody's looking at you like...
No,
My
because
friends don't do PDA, but I just like when I'm hanging out with friends and when I'm hanging out with friends doing some folk shit. Like you saw at the award, like this award show when Booch was across the room and I just started shouting to him and he started shouting to say that kind of vibe. Sometimes when we're with our partners, we feel like we have to restrict it a little bit. It's like tone it down.
because me and one of the other misses are trying to do a thing, but
Trip
they're
to
not
Milan.
on it. They're not on it.
Because why?
Why
You
not?
know what? Because double dates are just, they're set up for failure.
Why?
Because if the other couple is too lovey-dovey,
Yeah.
and God forbid
You need to know with a mature couple that's been together for a long time as well.
that
They're not on that.
There's a little bit of faith in it.
Yeah, there's a little bit. They just aren't here for a date, and so they just want to get out the house. They just want to do like, fuck that shit, bro.
Or that new couple that, I love you. You don't even love each other yet.
But there's none of that though.
Yeah.
The couples that we hang around with.
See,
There's
there's
none of that.
hang out with couples, you know.
There's none of that.
I really-
There's but it's not. It doesn't even feel like it's couples.
No, that's true, man.
It actually, because yesterday when we went to Burna, it didn't really feel like it was couple.
Yeah, that's true.
It just felt like a group of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
That's
Yeah,
true.
but those are the best ones. No. Oh my God, has somebody put you in that situation where she brings you to meet the girls or whatever, and then they just leave all the men to hang out together, like, oh, you guys are men, have fun.
No, I haven't done
No,
that.
not really. But was there some situation where the guys just end up being cool? Like there was a baby shower we went to in Peckham, and one of the guys that was walking with him, speaking to him, French guy, ended up being Congolese. was like, oh. I was like,
But every time I
strap.
bring him somewhere, he always ends up meeting a Congolese guy.
It's because these Nigerian babes love Congolese men.
Excuse me?
On the timeline, they'll tell you, I want a Yoruba guy.
Oh, don't.
I want a Yoruba guy. That's what they'll tell you on the timeline. And I meet them in real life. I was like, oh, Congo, Nigeria. Think about it. How many weddings did you see that Congo Nigerian crossover?
2 maybe.
I saw like 4. Even in your town, there was a couple there as well. I know 2 in my head in your town.
Yeah.
It's one of those 2, including you.
No.
No, I don't care.
See, that's it. So don't believe what they say on the timeline. Shoot your shot at the Nigerian babe. And Simi came here to clarify that she did move to me.
Oh my
Clarify for the
god.
pod.
Okay, whatever. If you want to say I moved to you, fine. But I didn't really move to you, but I knew what I wanted and I went for what I wanted. So I didn't settle. No, because I didn't say, let's be together.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Is that how you move to someone to say let's be together?
Yeah! Is that not how guys do to girls?
Yeah, but girls move to guys in a different way. Girls aren't, they're not as...
Direct.
As direct, God
Yeah.
forbid, for me to be rejected.
Well,
You roll your eyes. Roll your eyes. I don't
Rejection
care.
won't kill
You
it.
No.
got rejected one time.
Yeah, and never
One
again.
time.
Life will not, I will never be rejected again. God forbid.
One time!
So?
Jesus Christ.
They get rejected, and then this thing that's like, and I think it's a lot of it. Just like we were told, is like, oh, sometimes the chasing it. You see the movies, the girls say no. Even I always say the analogy is like that Chris Brown song, "Excuse Me, Miss," where she's parrying him, but he keeps trying. He keeps like.
Let's talk about that song.
Okay,
Let's talk about that song.
let's talk about.
I don't like
Why is he following the girl? That's actually, imagine you're walking down the street, minding your business, and this nigga's...
But that used to be the thing though.
Yeah, I know, but...
No, because that used to happen. Okay, when back in the day when rights was, that actually used to be a thing where men would not stop. They would continuously follow you throughout the night, and God forbid they give you one drink. God forbid. They are
In those
stuck
situations,
your
did you ever
hip.
in those situations did you ever give in and be like, these guys?
No.
You know that like that's something.
No, because my whole thing is I don't go for anybody that moves to me in the club anyways, because I don't think you're serious.
Where am I supposed to move to you?
And especially back then,
Anywhere else but the club.
See?
But what if the only place I see you is the club?
If it's meant to be, we'll meet again.
God.
Because don't move to me in the club. Because I just always feel like if you're moving to me in the club, you're just looking for someone you're going to take home.
And
Not necessarily.
even if necessarily, even if necessarily, I could take you home. We could build something from here.
You know, I can take you home, then I can take you seriously.
Yeah. People like.
I'm not taking that chance. Because you might not take me serious. And you might just take me home.
That's how women don't know how to have fun.
You know?
Just enjoy it, man. Enjoy it for what it is. But that.
What do you
enjoy.
mean?
Okay, what if it's not? It doesn't take you serious. At least you enjoy that moment, no?
Mm-hmm. We're here for a good time,
No,
not a
long
long
time.
time. You know.
Yeah, but okay. See, the thing is, my mentality has changed a little bit. Well, but you're rude. But back in the day, it used to be, you have to be a good girl. So you couldn't be a certain way because your parents used to teach you that men don't want women that move a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And-
but you know all the hoes that you know here.
Yes, they're all married.
Exactly.
And that's
So they're
That's
right.
why
the mentality
it's
changes.
changing.
Because you
That's
get
why it's
older,
changing.
and you get older, and you realize, oh, so we're all ending up at the same place because I get it because back then as well we were like you're taught like you should only take a certain type of girls this way. You
Serious.
the church girl, the going girl. And then you get older and you realize, what if I don't want a church girl?
Because
What if I want the bad B? And it's like
the church girl sometimes is the bad bitch.
maybe you can be
Secretly,
both.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can be both. Like let me not put them in a box. Maybe you can be a church girl and a bad bee. Like you're multifaceted. It's also I remember having this conversation with her actually. I was saying like it's some people they have a certain way themselves. Like they like going out, they're outgoing. They might like to go have shisha. They might like to live a certain life a certain way because that's how they are. But they feel like they're conditioned to marry a certain type of I'll put it in a certain type of girls. So then they marry that girl where the perception they were told, oh, she's a good girl, do you know? But then they realize, this doesn't suit me. And I remember just Jean saying it on the podcast. She said she has friends that want to go out for shisha and they want to do this and that's the life they want to live. But they can't do it with their wives because they've married, they're not dating. I'm like, so now you've married someone who doesn't suit how you want to live life. And Adam22 is another podcaster and he's married to a porn star. And I looked at him and I was like, he knows how he is. He knows he likes to live a wild life. He knows he likes to do this, he likes to do this. So he married someone that suits his lifestyle. Rather than marrying someone that's a bit more conservative, you want to do certain things and they're looking at you like, that's not me.
What are you doing that?
Yeah, but us
Maybe
Africans were
men
told
also-
like very certain ways.
Maybe men also fear that if they go for the baddie, maybe the baddie can leave them or the baddie can cheat.
See, this is the thing. If you're not ready for a baddie, if you can't handle it.
A lot of people are not. A lot of men are not ready for baddies.
Yeah, no,
I'm
telling you, what's called
not.
having a bad bee, yeah, it takes a certain level of mental fortitude. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas are gonna shoot.
Yeah.
Bro, and niggas shoot.
Sometimes even in front of you.
Bro, sometimes they'll know you, they'll come dap you. Wait, I'm not sure anyway.
You look like that.
I'm not sure. Listen,
Alright.
I'm not sure anyway.
Look, if the shoe fits.
Go come, yeah.
But yeah, like it takes a certain level of mental fortitude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Actually, you know what?
Quick intro before we...
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, anyways, and we're here. We are Church to the Game. We are the podcast with the highest level of analysis that the culture needs. I'm Uncle Jay, but you man can call me Jordan. I'm here with...
You know, your girls with a voice big Deji with the Midas touch.
No second most light skin on the podcast today, but Deji will say there's no corny intro, so he
Thank
is...
God.
Deji is...
Don't allow it, Dave.
Divide and conquer. Who are we here today?
Simisola.
Mrs. Mindomba, as they so might
If you want
say,
to claim that,
because
yeah.
everybody. Same as I was saying, when you taking your, what are you doing? Take your wife to work day. This is it. This is it right now. So, Dave,
You guys can finally put a face to
today's name,
the enigma.
What's
I feel like you've spoken so much about Simi on the podcast, obviously, because like
in terms of who I live with,
yeah, I'm saying,
yeah.
And I feel like there's actually because Simi got married and decided to dissipate.
Oh my god, I knew this narrative was going to come
It's
up.
not a narrative.
No,
it's
I
true.
knew it. I was thinking about it. I was like, Deji's going to say how I just disappeared. I just left the friendship.
It's true.
It's not.
It is true.
Because, okay, in a way, yeah.
You know, it's cool.
In a way, you guys became friends.
Okay.
And you guys became closer.
Okay.
So it just seemed that because you guys got closer, I just pulled back a little bit.
I think that's a cop-out.
This is
a podcast. I'm here for content.
Do you want to know why
I'm here for
that's a cop-out?
content, baby.
Do you want to know why that's a cop-out?
Yeah.
Because we became less cool before me and him became super cool. Because we only became super cool more recently.
Yeah.
Since Charge to the Game happened, we became more cool.
Okay.
And even within that,
For context, by the way, let me say, Deji and Simi grew up together in nothing. So Deji and Simi, maybe people might not know this, but so Deji and Simi, have been friends before me and Simi were even knew each other.
This is it. Fuck your niggas, yeah. So Simi is one of my female friends. She's married to Jordan, so I could not done anything. So how fuck you guys?
This is Deji Simi. So yeah, sorry, just for context, Deji and Simi grew up in the same town. They grew up together. They didn't know each other even before I know Simi or before I know Deji. So that's why this conversation is happening.
Exactly. Yeah. And then Simi got married and then decided to ditch me.
To be honest, I just ditched everybody.
So back to it's not a narrative. It's true.
But I explained to you why.
It's not. I
understand.
I just got lazier. Just
this is
in
the
a
thing,
way.
Yeah. I have no feelings about it. Like it's calm. Like life happens. Shit happens in it. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just funny to say.
No, I know because to be honest, I always do think about it. The fact that like when we used to always go for lunch together. 1 week I'll pay. 1 week like I do miss stuff like that, but I don't know. To be honest, I'm just a lazy person now. I don't even leave my town to go out anywhere. So
no, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but that's the best.
It's nothing against you.
Oh yeah, I told you I have no feelings towards this. Like
that's what
it's just really
Did you use
No, I know because you said you changed, man. You changed.
Yeah, no, change, man.
You got married and you changed, man.
I don't know. You're blaming it on the fact that I got married.
She changed her last name and became a whole different person.
Oh my god!
Just on that though, how because we had people here for public. How was it for you, man, growing up in Navan? Was it a lot of black people, or did you just kind of keep to yourselves, or?
It was a small.
They were small enough.
It was a small community.
It was a small community. I feel like.
So you all know each other, kind of way.
Even if you're not friends, you know of them.
Yeah.
But also, we had the added bonus of both of our parents owned shops.
Yeah, right next to each other.
Like literally, my mom's hair shop was here. My mom's African shop was.
It was right there.
Right next to each
You
other.
guys were boys back then as well.
Yeah,
So
you know what? Actually, we weren't.
No, because you were close with my sister. Because you guys were in the same year.
Yeah, we were in the same.
So you guys were in the same year. So you guys were close, and then my brother and your brother were close.
Yeah. And Simi was doing Mean Girls with the rest of them. So.
I was not doing Mean Girl. I was not a Mean Girl. I actually was not a Mean Girl.
You were a mean girl.
I was not. I was far from a Mean Girl.
Stop talk to me.
Oh my God, no!
You want me to tell you the truth? You want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah, tell me the truth.
Simi and her group of friends, yeah.
Oh my God!
They were the it girls. They were the mean girls
No,
back
it
then.
wasn't.
Simi, why are you lying?
The it girl, you know.
Simi,
You're
why are you
Miss
lying?
Nah, the way Simi talks about her childhood as if she was oppressed.
My gosh! I was oppressed.
You know
But
what?
she was actually out here doing that.
It's one of those ones. She's living a double life. At home, she's oppressed, but when she's outside, she's
Oh
oppressed.
my God! I was not mean girl.
You what?
No, I was
Wait,
in the
so-
group with mean girls, but
So
I was
who-
not a mean
Okay,
girl.
mean girl by association.
Yeah.
Would you rather that?
I wasn't actually a mean girl.
Nah, Deji, I'm paranoid.
You think I was-
That's recorded.
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah,
No, yeah, go ahead.
It is
Let's go.
recorded.
No, I'm just paranoid because I can't see the red dot from here.
There's a red dot.
No, yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
phew. Oh, maybe because I can see. Okay, that's fine.
No, keep going though.
I wasn't
So you were a mean girl.
I was
no,
not.
the way you talk
I
about your
wasn't a mean-
childhood.
I was not a mean girl. And anyways, I couldn't be a mean girl because by a certain point, like once I finished school, I was always in the shop.
Yeah.
I was always at the shop.
Just because you're at home,
After
just because
school-
you're at home doesn't mean you weren't a mean girl outside
Exactly.
the
Like
house.
in school as well. You were part of that group of mean girls.
So you think the people I hang around with at that time, they were all mean girls?
When I say mean girls, I don't mean like you guys were like bitches or mean or anything. I mean it's more. You know what the mean girl represents? You know like the movie, what the mean girls represent? Like that clique of girls always doing popular.
Okay, maybe we were a clique, but I
No,
don't think
we were definitely. A
No,
clique.
we were a clique. Oh my God, we were a clique, but I don't think we were mean girls.
Well, look, I don't mean in the time of in the sense
Like we
of
weren't
actually
bitchy.
being- I can't answer that because
We were bitchy to you.
not to me. Not
Yeah.
to me. Like I'm mostly. See, you're taking this as I'm calling you actually mean, and it's
He's just using the mean girl as a
I'm
phrase
using
of
mean
If you're
girl.
saying, okay, we're a clique,
Like,
yeah, fine, we were a
clique
clique.
of girls that just always do their thing.
Yeah, we were a clique, yeah.
But for you then,
We
how?
were probably like the baddies in Navan. Because there wasn't, to be honest,
Yeah, we're the
there's really no baddies in Navan at that time.
That's what.
At that time, there wasn't that many. Like, I'm not saying only my clique was, but there wasn't that many.
Oh yeah, not that many.
There wasn't.
But then again, back then, did we have buddies like?
That's true too. Our
We
bodies
didn't have money then.
they have to do their thing.
We're
with
still doing, we're still doing
pick and drop.
pick
with
and
the
drop.
sleeve.
What's called? We're still trying to be white girls with the back home.
You know them ones and
Oh my God!
Bare black girls with the back home.
Oh, we used to do the back home all the time.
Yeah.
All the
So
time.
like it's different now. It's different now. They didn't
You
have
used to buy the
HD.
€2 powders from your mum's shop.
Bro, they didn't have HD lace back then, man.
No.
They were still
No.
doing foundation from pennies and that.
Yep.
Like,
Did you have to work in your mom's shop as well?
bro.
I don't. You were.
Every summer, my mom went to Nigeria. We ran the shop.
Ran
bro.
shop.
Okay. That's good responsibility,
Deji,
though.
and your
Well,
sister, and Yusuf was just there for
It
her.
was
just
like,
there.
like the thing is right. Genuinely, it's so funny on my CV when it's kind of like, oh, have you ever done it? Like we ran the shop. It's not even like there was an auntie there that she did hair, right? And people just kind of automatically thought that she was in charge, but she was very much not in charge. Like we paid the bills, we even decided to do sales, we carried out the stock, we paid the barber, we did everything kind of a situation. We opened the shop, we did everything. So on my CV, when I talk about management experience, I've had management experience since I was like 15, but it doesn't look realistic.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
But it's true though,
Yeah.
because it was the same with us as well. Whenever my mom used to like go to Nigeria, and my dad was there, but like he was just there just to like maybe open the door, and it'll just be me and my sisters, and they're taking care of the whole shop. We used to run amok. I remember like Bambi and all of them used to come over. We used to get molds. Everybody just be chilling outside in front of the shop. It used to be good vibes.
It was
Proper good vibes.
it was only good vibes in pieces because it's kind of like the worst thing is you're on a Saturday, you think you're about Saturday morning, you think you're gonna chill. It's like,
Yeah.
come shop. Why? Why?
Yeah,
It's annoying.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is annoying because your whole weekend was the shop, but to make it not terrible was having the friends come by. Even if they could only be there for 30 minutes, it's still
It's waiting for that 30 minutes,
It's
but
still
then
good. Yeah,
they're
yeah.
all going off to go do God knows what.
Whatever
And you're-
normal
you're
things
here.
that teenagers should be doing. while
And
we
you're here
run
in
the
the
shop.
shop. Like you're here running the
Yeah,
whole
no,
business.
And then
In the summer.
and then the aunties
Annoying.
would be like, oh, yeah, but your mom used to give it to me at that
Oh my
price.
God, don't
Stop!
piss me off.
Stop!
She's not
Mom!
here.
She
She's not
did
here.
it!
And then I would be giving out to my mom, stop giving these people discounts. Because then they come to me and they say, oh, and then the worst thing about it, you have a customer in front of you and you're trying to call your mom.
And she's not answering.
And then the worst part is when they pick up and they're Nigerian, they're living it up and
Yeah.
you can hear them.
Yeah, you can hear the background. And you can
Dude, that's in the summer.
Back in the summer.
Bro,
Leaving 3 kids at home.
Bro, the whole summer they're gone. And we're here running the whole ass business. That's the one thing I felt like.
We had adults, just in case any government people were listening. There were adults around.
We had supervision.
We were just hanging out in the shops.
Okay.
This is not child labor. I got paid.
Yeah, I got paid.
Nah, but yeah, like it was a weird time. It just kind of felt like the shop was life. Do you know what I mean?
It was life.
Yeah. Why did they stop? Why did they stop running the shop?
My mom decided that she wanted to go to Nigeria and move there, but she never did, so she sold the shop. I don't know about your mom.
My mom, it just kind of, I don't know, it just started kind of fizzling out.
Yeah.
Like, and then it just got to a place where she's like, nah, I'm just.
And then I think also, because the parents had the same landlord, they started bulking up the the rent and just a lot of stuff, and it just didn't make sense. And then people started, instead of the people in Navan supporting, they started going like elsewhere, and it's just.
Do you know how annoying it is to hear simple expression? That's just simple expression. Oh, I can get it for this price in Dublin.
Dublin.
Go to Dublin.
So go to Dublin.
Like, and also the
By the
amount of
time you
money
take
that
the
the petrol that you're going to get to Dublin, you might as well.
I think that's one of the things that happened in Balbriggan, because like you're saying, when we were young, there's very small black communities probably everywhere. Well, the town got bigger. There's 3 African shops in that town, because the petrol, there was one used to be one in town we used to go to Dyer shop, shout out to them, and they had to close because once all our towns started getting a bit bigger and shops started coming into the town, people are like, why would I take my petrol now to go drive in Dublin?
Yeah. Even
if it's an extra €10, sometimes it's just about convenience. I can be home in like before halftime kickoff. I don't have to deal with Dublin traffic. I don't have to deal with all these people.
Bro,
I'm back home.
At this point in my life, like I value my time so much. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not driving. I'm not spending however long driving to Dublin to save what, €5?
Even being here, because I'm like, oh, by the time we finish, it's going to be rush hour. I was like, let's find a shop, do our shopping now, because why are we sitting in the traffic for another hour just to go to the shop for another hour? So I wanted to ask you actually, because this narrative of podcast niggas going on, yeah. And sometimes I'll be on my wild shit. People be calling me out.
Fed.
He's a fed.
Even later on, they'll be saying,
even at home, he's a fed.
How does your wife think about you saying these things on the pod? What's it like dealing with being married to a podcast nigga?
Yeah, I do think they should take his Twitter page, his mic.
I've actually had to tweet Simi to come get you a couple times at the time. Like,
do you know people that I don't even know say, what does your wife think about this? I say, look, how do I get into this? How am I involved?
I say, fuck me,
why am I involved?
Because
you don't even know me, I'm involved.
Because you know what's so funny? You know when when you're like younger and your parents are like, oh, they're reporting people to people.
Yeah.
I get it now.
That's what it is.
I get it now.
That is what it is. But you know what that gave me the vibe of? I don't know if last month or something, remember there was a guy, a 40-year-old man that was on a 20-something-year-old woman's Twitter page and was talking about her body.
Yeah.
And he said, by the time I come back and eat, I'll drop your wife's. Every time I get that, I always feel like that. I'm always like, don't disgrace me. Don't disgrace me. Don't be answering me here.
It's funny.
Mind my business.
Because people think like, and I get it, because now I'm like a married man, there's a certain way, because obviously none of us have been married. We've just seen married men of our father's generation and how they were like very serious, very strict. So I think it's the dynamic is like, once that was done, I'm supposed to behave a certain way. And in certain ways I am, and I do understand that. But in certain ways I'm just like, we're just fucking around. Like, this is a joke I would have made. These are jokes I make in my house. Like, she'd be walking around and I'll make this joke and I'm like, nah, this is too good to be in the house. I need the world to hear it. But I do understand what people are. People are like,
to be honest, I never got married. So that's why when some people go, do you not get the ick? I say, you know what?
Every day.
I say, you know what, every day, but where am I going? Where am I going? So I just have to accept it.
Because it's like, we're a new age. It's like, remember I was listening to like 90s babies. They said the women of today, they're probably not as mature as our moms. It's like a thing where the married men of today, we're not going to be the same as our dads. Do you know that kind of way? Or the fathers.
But the men of today are more childish than our dads.
The what?
Are we?
A bit more.
How?
You're more free. You're more like, you don't take life as serious. You think our dads didn't take life proper serious? They had to grow up really, really quick.
Yeah,
so did we.
No, but what I mean is like everything was really, really serious with them. Like, I'm pretty sure if I talk to my dad, like my dad was 21, paying for his college fees and paying for 2 of his younger siblings. You think me at 21 was paying for anybody's school fees?
That's not to do with.
But what I'm saying is
that's just a circumstance.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like a lot of them probably had to do stuff like that. A lot of them had to hustle earlier. A lot of them had to grow up quicker.
It's charge out to the game.
Yeah, it's charge it, but I'm saying that you guys don't have to do that.
No, I get what you're saying. My responsibilities at my age of 21 isn't the same as my dad's. And my dad's had to leave his house by the age he was 12, and he basically had to raise himself and for the most part of his life. So he's gonna be, certain things about him are gonna be just more serious, whereas I lived with my parents till 7 months ago, and I just moved out then, and I'm just learning things, how to navigate life then. So I wouldn't have had to learn certain responsibilities as fast as my father. But that's only my circumstance. That's only me, and that doesn't apply across the board.
But do you think do you think like you're more, not more mature, but yeah, kind of more mature than what your age is?
Yeah, I think I've always been like that though.
No, I know you've always been mature, but do you think like you're far, like, as in like you have the mentality of what, like a 30-something-year-old, even though you're only 20-something? Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think I have the mentality of a 28.
Yeah, we know that.
I think life as it goes. It's like, okay, now I have to have a house. I have to be that mature. Like, I only have to be as mature as I need to be. But do you know that kind of way? I don't want to be more mature than I need to be.
No, but this is the thing. Yeah, people. I think people confuse maturity with like responsibility. Do you know what I'm saying? And you know what? That whole thing of like they're expecting you to be a certain way because you're married now. You're looking at somebody, you're looking up at somebody, do you know what I'm saying? They're not bantering with us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you only see the serious side.
Exactly.
Like when they're on the, like, you know, growing up in the African shop and growing up in the hairdressing shop, when you start hearing the shit that these people are talking about, you realize that they're on the same bullshit that we're on.
Bro, I don't like going to salons sometimes because the aunties will say, "Oh, the way he put my leg up here." What? And I'm looking at
bro.
Aunties are what? I'm still young. I'm still young. I don't want to be handed.
Why do you think I've learned the art of listening but look like I'm not listening?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm in the shop and these women are giving all the tea.
Yeah.
They're giving, my husband, this one is cheating with this one.
Like
this one is doing, bro.
I was in the barbershop, like, shout out my barbershop, Maryland. Married men there telling their friends how to cheat and get away with it. Which girl they have in London, which girl they have here. And me, I'm 16 listening, and sometimes they'll look at you and they'll tell you one day you'll understand. They'll tell you, these guys are still young, enjoy all these girls, because soon you'll have to start hiding them. I was like, this is crazy.
You didn't say you have to go to exam.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, so like the thing is, you're looking at something as like, have you guys had that conversation with your parents of like, yo, tell me about how you grew up?
Yeah.
And then they start telling you about all the fuck shit that they were doing, even times where you might have been there.
That was on cross.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's so funny watching him now. Every time I look, I was like,
he's so gentle. He's so gentle, but he was on crud. Even my mom knew he was on crud. I was like, how did you manage? Because
but that's what I'm saying. Like because we look up, and it's kind of like one of those situations where they're not giving us the real. Do you know what I'm saying? Like even when you have a kid and the kid gets to like to an age where he starts to understand, you're still not gonna give him that. You're not bantering with him like you're bantering with us. You're not bantering with him. You're not giving him all of that until he gets to a certain age. So if you are looking at marriage and you built your foundations of marriage from the ages of like 10 to like 20 and all you're seeing is your parents and like, no, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this.
As a married man, they're all serious, and then you call on the timeline and you see the married man doing TikTok. You're like, what the fuck is happening here? Are you not married?
This is the thing, yeah. If you have looked through some of these uncles' phones or some of the shit that they be sending over on their WhatsApp group chats, bro, they're just sending porn. So it's not maturity. You're just not getting to see.
And then I think that's it. Do you think it's also because they're under more pressure with perception of age, not really maturity? They have to give a certain perception, even with status of like father, uncle, this. So they have to be like, because within their peers, because none of my friends have kids yet. Like, do you know that kind of way? But if we did have kids, maybe in front of the kids we're giving them this perception of like we're mature uncles. But at the same time, me and Butch are saying the heavies.
I don't think so. I think our generation is a bit different.
Okay.
I don't think our generation will be as, we won't pretend as much. I don't think. Like you have nieces and nephews, so I don't think that to them you come across as like, oh, I'm this great uncle that. Like, not that you're not a great uncle.
I'll let them know my uncle.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you're going to pretend. You're going to put a wall up.
Not too much. You're going to be, I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I think our generation.
We're going to be a bit more transparent than our parents was, because it gets to a stage, Simi and I were having this conversation driving home yesterday. It's like, it gets to a stage where now they want us to build a foundation of a friendship and just banter with them and be on that level, where we spent 28 years not being like that. And like my father looked at me and he says like, look, sometimes I want to talk to a man and I have no friends in this country and I want to talk to you because you're a man now. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, this was never our relationship. How can we just switch it on? You know, whereas me and you, for example, recently we're building up, we're switching it on, we're switching on. You might get to 5 years where we're talking about things we were talking about 5 years ago. It'll take time to get there, but I don't know how to
even like my older sister, because of like Nigerian household, like she was like 5-ish, 6-ish years older than me. But the way they used to make it is like, oh, she's like,
she's your parent.
She's your second parent. Yeah. Whatever she says kind of goes. Yeah. So we kind of used to give her this kind of like, we used to actually look at her as, we used to look at her like, okay, she's just this extra parent and you couldn't do certain things with her. And to be honest, it made us not be close to her. But only in the recent, maybe like 2 years or something, now we started getting closer. I text her every day and stuff like that. We talk as like we're mates. But for years, my mom used to make it like, that's your elder. Like, that's your second mom, basically. Yeah. So you cannot banter. The same way you treat me is the same way you're meant to treat her. And in my head, I'm like, okay, there's 5 years between us, but then there's 5 years between me and my brother. I don't treat my brother the way she treats me, if that makes sense. Like, we don't have to call her auntie. We used to call her big sis. We couldn't call her by her name. Yeah. We always had to say big sis. That was it. While my brother is out here telling me, fuck you. So it's two different.
I told you about it, bro. You guys needed to fuck him up.
No, we did. Yeah.
No, because look, bro, I always say, he was a prick with boys. Yeah. There always has to be a threat of violence.
No, it's true. Like, it's true.
Not violence. I'm not saying you have to fuck him up, but there has to be that threat of violence.
Yeah.
Because once, like, let's be kind. Your brother was a prick when he was growing up.
Yeah,
he was a little shit. But the thing is, right? Once he got to the age where you guys couldn't beat him up, now there is no consequences to my actions. Do you know what I'm saying? I know once a boy takes this guy.
Because he's the tallest as well. He's like 6'3", so he towers over everybody. He used to do. Still, like, not now, but like, I think when he was like 20 or 21, I used to be like, look, yeah, you wrestle. Even if you beat me, we will wrestle.
Now you go Jordan. That has to do.
You just funny. You just hold it down.
Jordan will call all these bricks boys.
My crush for and that.
I'm Russian. Sometimes people need Russian. No sibling means Russian.
No, but yeah, no, like I think with that whole marriage thing, it's just very.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I'm even taking it as, not that I'm not taking it serious, but I'm not taking it the way like African parents used to.
I think that's what fucks it up though.
What do you mean?
Because
wait, you're not taking that marriage seriously?
Because
it's content.
Because you know what? Like I feel like, because I always ask married people, right? I don't understand why people think that there's going to be a difference. Like the day that before you got engaged and after you got engaged, it's still the same thing. And I think for guys as well, because we don't really care about the wedding. As soon as I buy you that ring and you say yes, you're my wife.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. And then the day after, before our wedding and the day after our wedding, it's the same as. But I feel like people have this expectation that it's magically something is going to change.
I think for women, sometimes it's just the security.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. No, because sometimes, that's not like, men are out here, they be doing shit, they be doing stuff. Not that it's going to make a difference when you have a ring, but sometimes it just gives women a bit more
leverage.
A bit more peace of mind in a way.
No,
just
I
a tiny bit.
No, the thing is, I understand the security level, but I'm talking about they almost feel like the person now is supposed to act
make a different,
it's going to change. Bro, I was the same guy yesterday, I'm going to be the same guy tomorrow. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think we've changed.
No, and I think everybody, like Deji said it best, like we had the benefit of
being friends
for 5 years and then being together for 5 years.
Yeah.
I remember the other day I was saying it to her, I was like, in 5 years I would have known Simi half my life. In literally 5 years I would have known her half my life. So a lot of people come on the pod and they ask me, it's like, oh, you're married, I was like being married. And I have to regurgitate the same things again and again, and I'm like, Dave, I heard this 50 times. Now to ask you on the pod, because people are definitely going to be like, okay, now you're here. What's it like being married for you?
No. What's it like living with a man?
Yeah, actually, yeah, let's do that.
It's annoying. No, it's annoying living with a man, but I realize this is just all men. It's not actually just as in Jordan, because when I speak to my other friends as well, whether they're married or not married, it's the same thing. Men I think women have a certain expectations of how they want their house to be, and men Men don't care. There's things like Jordan be like, oh, where does this go again? I'm like, well, do we not live in the same house? How do you not know where this goes? Or like we go shopping and he doesn't know what we have at home or what we don't have at home. So if I don't say what we're getting, he can't go shopping by himself. He can't.
I'll buy jellies and I'll buy jellies and brioche.
And maybe eggs. That's it.
And eggs.
And that's it.
That's all he eats.
That's all. If the rice is running low, he doesn't know if the rice is
Wait,
running
you
low.
cook?
No, I can cook.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, then
No.
He
unacceptable.
cooks.
Do you know what it is also? Because I know somebody knows. If I hear we need to go shopping, then I'm like, oh, that means you know what's missing in the house, isn't it?
Wait.
You know what's missing. If we need to go shopping.
Does this go the other way where there's certain things you just don't know about, but it's Jordan's responsibility to know?
No, I know everything.
Even about your car and everything?
My car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know when my car is having issues.
Yeah, Jordan, do better, bro.
Nah.
I know when my car is having issues, if the oil is low, if this is that. I
You
know.
just throw Jordan the keys and be like, fix it.
No, I do it. Because my dad taught me how to do it. So I had my dad. So I don't need a nigga to
Speaking
show me.
about dads, because there was a very interesting conversation with time the other day about mommy's boys.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I feel
And
that.
girls do this thing where they want you to, like, okay, right, a daddy's girl is fine, mommy's boy is bad, right?
Yeah, I'm a daddy's girl.
Okay, perfect. You know the only difference is in the way of men show love by providing and doing things, whereas women show love by doing things for you. Do you get what I'm saying? So when it's a daddy's girl, it's fine. Oh, my dad paid all my bills. My dad does this. To this day, my dad still pays my bills. To this day, my dad still fixes my car. But if I say to this day, my mom still cooks for me, or my mom still washes my clothes, all this kind of stuff, it's a problem. Why? Like, it's the same thing. It's just love is being shown in different ways.
Yeah, I can't really argue that point because my thing is like, it's not that, oh, my dad used to do this for me, so my dad showed me how to do things. That his way of teaching us was showing us things how to do it by ourselves.
Teach you how to fish.
Yeah,
so
basically, like
time,
he taught us all about our finance, how to manage a credit card, like stuff about your car, like if it was about fixing a laptop, like anything that like he knew, my dad would teach us not how to do it. Yeah. So I feel like, and then also my mom always used to do everything in the house. My mom was very DIY as well. So I saw in my household that everybody did stuff for themselves. They didn't really wait for someone. So a lot of times I don't wait for Jordan to do anything I want to do. If I want to nail something to the wall and like put a frame up or whatever, I'll do it myself. I don't need to wait for Jordan to do it. The only thing I might need Jordan to do is if it has to,
too high,
like,
you can't reach. If it's a bit high.
that was uncalled for.
I'm just saying.
That was actually uncalled for.
If it's up there,
Not
like,
even that tall as yourself. So,
6 foot 10, me and Deji, come on.
Sorry?
don't mind him. Don't mind him. I claim 6.
Who said that?
Anyways. No, but it's just like, the only time I probably need your help is if it has to do with like weights or if I can't open like certain things. But other than that, like I do everything myself. So I'm not, I have to wait for Jordan to do it because my dad used to do it for me. No, it was never like that.
Does that annoy you?
What?
Does that annoy you?
No, because
I'll get to it and then you come over.
no, because our home, my mom did the reverse. It wasn't my dad. My dad was a very like practical guy. It was like, this is what you need to do as a man. This is what you need to do. But my mom was like, this you need to iron. This is how you iron. She showed me like, so it works the reverse. And it's like there's certain things I'm like, okay, if Simi goes away and I need to, like you're saying, cook. For example, my mom, after the age of 12, when we go to school, she said, I'm not going to keep waking up for you to make the breakfast. You're still in 6th class. It's like, this is how you make egg. She made it with us a few weekends, and then she stopped. Like, my mom was the same way of demonstrating. Like, I always say to her, like, we very much grew up with our mom in my house. But, like, my dad, for the beginning, when we were in Congo, he was always traveling for work, and here he's always away. So we pretty much grew up with our mom, and our mom was the same. She's like, she always used to say, I'm not going to be here for you guys forever, so it's better for you to learn to do things, so I shouldn't just do it for you. So I had that similar upbringing or similar mindset. So when you come into it and you see it, it's like, oh, my dad taught me how to do this. You don't take it to heart because you're like, oh yeah, that's what happened in my house too. Maybe in other houses, it's like, I'm the normal guy might feel like because I'm the man, let me do it.
But do you feel like for you, if you were with a girl and she did everything herself, would that bother you?
It won't bother me because I'm of the opinion that I want you to know how to do everything. I'm not going to make you do it. But I want to know that that I know that you know how to do. Because like at the end of the day, I'm not always going to be there.
Exactly.
And like, God forbid I die tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Literally, my mom said the exact. Those are the words my mom said. Word for word. And also knowing that I have a younger sister, like. Shout out Katie, I was like, I wanted you to know how to do things because I don't want them to go to a man and feel like you're dependent on him. If he's not here, or my dad lives, no, like Simi's been around. If she needs to eat, she'll go to the kitchen and cook herself sometimes because she has to learn how to do that, you know?
Yeah. My mom's always been like that though. My mom's always been like, don't depend on a man.
Yeah, like for me, it's just very much like I want you to know how to drive.
That's one thing.
If we're always together. If we're together, I'm going to always be the one driving.
Ask her who taught her to drive.
Oh, go away, man.
but the thing is,
she had to learn. Because she was applying for. She was like working in Sandymount, taking the fucking bus nav into town and then Lewis out to Sandymount. I'm like, bro, you're drained by Wednesday for a reason. Yeah. This commute is not helping you.
It's one of those situations that like I feel like. This is why I triggered these niggas the other day. Like, but with girls, you don't really have to learn how to drive.
Man, like a man not knowing how to drive gives me the ick.
At what age though?
At any age.
No.
So by 25, by 25, if you can't drive. Yeah, like, 21, yeah, you need to
at least have a
license. Mind your business. That's not to do.
I'm not even talking about license because I understand the license thing sometimes. Like, I didn't get my full license till I was.
No, I'm not talking about full license. I'm just saying have the actual license say that you've done the theory and you've done some lessons. Even forget about all that. I think you should just have the ability to drive. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether it's legal or illegally. Be able to have
do it legally. Have your insurance on your tax, NCT. Do legal driving.
Look, get your lessons done.
I just like being prepared.
Lessons.
I just like being prepared, and I like knowing that. That's even another reason why I don't know why some people can only drive automatics. Do you get what I'm saying?
That always bothers me. Why do people like when they learn how to drive, it's just automatic and that's it? I know that on Twitter they said, "Oh, women, you complain you want soft life, but you're doing on your manual car." But like, I think you should be able to learn.
It's easier.
Both.
It's easier. But for me, why I will always recommend learning both is because you never know. I like the option of if there is a car there, no matter what the car is, I can just pick up and go. Do you know what I'm saying? Because God forbid there's an emergency and the only car that there's a manual. You can drive, however, you can only drive a bumper car.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, especially in our country, in America, they're actually mostly automatic. So in America, the likelihood in emergency when you get into a car, I remember watching Desperate Housewives, she got into a car and she saw a steak. She was actually like shocked, which is actually funny because that's an emergency. She was shocked, but whereas here, you're most likely to get into a car.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's my thing. Like, I just want you to be able to know how to do everything. Yeah. I'm not that I'm going to expect you to do everything. Like, if you're with me, I'm always going to be the one doing the driving. Do you know what I'm saying? But if I'm not there, I want you to be able to drive yourself.
So, what age should a woman, by latest, know how to drive?
This is the thing. Know how to drive before you need to learn, because when that pressure of having I watched my sister have to learn how to drive because she had to learn. Not because it's a different pressure. Do you know what I'm saying? And the thing about driving is you need to be relaxed, you need to be comfortable. If you're under pressure and you're not someone that can deal with being under pressure, it's going to be harder for you to learn how to drive. Do you know
People are learning how to drive because now they got a job 40 minutes away, 45 minutes away. Now they have to learn how to drive because now you're putting yourself under pressure.
Convenience. It's actually just convenience. Learning how to drive is just basic.
Especially in this island.
In this island where, like, getting here. Remember when David did that journey from Brigham, the bus broke down, he had to get. I'm like, bro, it could someplace, and then we're driving here from Brigham. It's 30 minutes.
Look, it's something in Ireland, something that's a 15-minute drive can take me 2 hours.
2 hours.
And it doesn't make sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
My brother was here and then he followed me to Liffey Valley that they were doing with the Newbury episode because he was going to Dundrum because obviously Liffey Valley Dundrum's like a few stops. He was like, oh yeah, I'm like, but do you know in Ireland you have to go back into town and then back out to Dundrum? Yeah. So he ended up paying for a taxi. I'm like, yeah, because Ireland doesn't allow you like I'm only 2 exits away. Let me just come through here and I'm a couple of exits down. But no, you have to go back into town and then back out to Dundrum.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just it is spin back to what you're saying. So how's it being married for you?
I'm good. There hasn't really been that much of a difference, to be honest. Living together for like 7-8 months. 7-8 months. It's been fine. There hasn't been really much of a switch. I don't feel panicky because I know some people say they feel panicky when they move in because we never lived together before. So there's not much of a difference. I just think that you learn. Everybody's coming from different backgrounds. Everybody's coming from different households, different ways of doing certain things. I think at first I was kind of like, no, we're doing it this way, I was only doing it that way because that's how my mum used to do it.
Yeah.
But when you come into a new household together, you have to find a way that's going to work for both.
Yeah.
So I think at the beginning I was clashing a little bit just because I was like, no, we're going to do it this way. But really and truly, why does it have to be that way? Just because my mom does it that way doesn't mean that it suits me. That's just conditioning. That's why I used to do it. But it's been fine. There's not much of a difference, to be honest. I don't
think there is.
Yeah,
no.
And it really goes back to what you said. It's just because there's so much years and mileage of knowing each other, and I can understand people being with each other a year or two and then moving in, or maybe that transition could be more difficult because you're probably still learning about the person and their background themselves, especially being older. We had the privilege of meeting when we were younger where we could be in each other's houses. And like some small like where the eggs are kept. Simi knows where the eggs are kept in my house because she's been in that environment. Yeah. So when I don't have them
where
there.
do you keep your eggs?
Fridge.
So do I, but they
don't in the drawer.
They don't put in
like
the,
it didn't make a difference to me because what seeing them was like, oh, we keep the eggs here now. It's like that mental little switch is like, oh, this is where we keep the eggs.
I wonder if
now.
that's just a Nigerian thing.
Yeah. But if I had to explain to her, I was like, no, we keep the eggs here, she would understand. She's like, oh yeah, I've been around your family. I know where that comes from. Yeah. So I think that kind of helps also the transition, just having a little bit more understanding towards each other.
Yeah, I feel you. What's one thing that does that just annoys you? Like something little that just pulls you. Like wet towel on the bed.
I know he knows better now. He wanted to do that.
Sometimes you have to do things just to.
No. Don't trigger me.
Sometimes I just have to.
No. Sometimes it's just leaving things open.
Yes.
Well,
I was about to tell my mom. My dad used to, like like the pots and the,
like say like the rice cooker.
Yeah,
he'll get rice and he'll leave the lid on the side. Eat his food, go out chill, and I'll walk into the kitchen.
And I know I do it. It annoys me that I keep doing it. Like keep doing it.
Or like the stew, the container.
Yeah.
He'll leave the container lid on the side, and the stew's there, so it's just open. It's not like that.
No, you're right. No. This was a massive fuck up. But do you know the thing is, I was looking forward to because I was obviously driving to the concert with her. Remember, our experience growing up as men, it's different to them women's,
Because we were talking about secondary school and how like.
Did your parents have to walk you to school?
No.
And you walk back, and then every time you go home, you just give an explanation, say, "Oh, I was at football, I was at the library, or whatever."
I grew up differently because my mom was working like 3 jobs, so half the time we didn't see her.
Oh,
so it was like literally
freedom.
We would wake up back in primary school.
But was it the same with your sister?
Yeah, no, my sister, so in primary school, what happened was, my sister would wake us up, we'd get ready and we'd just walk to school. And then after school's over, we just walk back home. Okay. So, a lot more time, we could go time without seeing mom.
But what I'm saying is, with your sister, do you think, your mom was keeping an eye on her a lot more than you, or was you all the same, you were all...
She got it a bit more, but I still very much got it as well. Because, where my mom had the shop, because the shop is in town, right? Mm-hmm. And... the boys walk down, walk through the center, you chill, and then you get to the shop. I'm getting to the shop at 5 o'clock, 5:30. What was it? You finished school at 4?
Yeah, where have you been for
Mom, what do you mean? So you're walking around?
Gallivanting. I say that to say because I'm looking forward to the kid raising stage, to see how Simi then interacts with her when they're 12, 13, 14. Because I listen sometimes, I'm like, they're picking me up from school, they're dropping me to school. I was like, in first year of secondary school.
Mom was not for that.
My mom used to wait.
Just want to do it. I just walk to school, just gallivant.
In first year and second year. I don't know if that has to do with what time, when you guys were in primary school, did you finish the same time as secondary school?
No, you finished at 3 in primary school.
Okay, yeah, so my mom just used to wait for myself. And she'll wait outside the gate and pick me up the first and second year.
I remember my mom, I think my mom gave, we had to have freedom. Not freedom, but we had to have that responsibility because...
Still love you, Mom.
We had to have that responsibility because, she was working, weekends.
Yeah.
But I think what she did, though, was occasionally she'd test us. Because one time, because, so let's say...
So you knew her schedule in and out,
No. Kind of, it's just that I know that she was just working a lot. You know what I'm saying? So when we woke up for school, we just knew that she wasn't around. And when we got back from school, we knew that she wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? We probably wouldn't see our mom till 6 or 7 p.m. at night, and then that's it again.
Yeah.
See her for a couple of hours, go to bed, and it's gone. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there was one time she's like, oh, there's two. Our school is literally right across from the library, the primary school. It's a primary school. So she said, go this way because there's a person that crosses lollipop.
Yeah, the lollipop.
And then there's a what's it called? Then there's traffic.
You know that roundabout is like, it's very dangerous. Like a few people have been killed there.
Yeah.
The principal of the school I went to before I joined, she got killed there.
Yeah,
oh my God. She was crossing the roundabout and she got knocked down. That's why they made the roundabout so big now in Navin.
This story makes so much fucking sense now because mom was like, go that way and go this way because there's a someone's help you crossing and there's a thing. Don't go the other way.
Yeah.
And I was young, man, I didn't care. I just went the other way. And then turns out I think she told me to do that and then she was lurking to see if I did it. So the next day she picked me up and she was like, you didn't go which way I went. I was like, how do you know? She was watching.
Yeah.
So I think
it's because that roundabout.
Like that.
You could know. I know what you're doing.
It was just because of that safety. Because I do remember the year before. I think it was the year before I went to first year or 2 years before. The principal got knocked down at that roundabout. That's why that roundabout's so annoying now. That it's so wide that you almost go on top of it. Is because so many people got knocked down. Not all of them died, but so many people got knocked down around there. Yeah, and it's right in front of a primary school, so that worked.
Yeah, my thing was just, as long as my grades weren't suffering, my parents minded the business. Like I could come home, I go home after school, play football, and then I come home as long as my grades were not suffering. Because I was telling them, it was like the only, and I don't think I was even like a bad student overall. To be fair, the only thing that they hated was that like Tyro was my friend. My year had hated that I was friends with Tyro because he was like, Mr. Mindomba, you need to fly with the Eagles. Mr. Tibetan's holding you back. And I'm like, yeah, but it's fun, man. This is like the best part about school. Kind of thing.
Children want to go to school just to have fun.
Yeah. But I think my sister did get a lot more of the scrutiny. Yeah. But that's also just because of
she's a woman.
It's because she's a woman, but
she's
also we were also put under a microscope as well. Like there's a stigma about like single parents and all this kind of shit. Like literally, someone literally told like one of my sister's friends when she was younger, her mom told her to stop hanging around with my sister because single parents' kids don't do well. So like, and then obviously
I have heard that many times.
Yeah, I've heard that many times. Like, bro, the kind of stories that go around about my family back then were kind of crazy. Like people were saying that my mom was bringing niggas home for my sister to sleep with and all this kind of shit. So my mom was extra.
But you know, in Navin they chat a lot of shit because someone told my mom that I was pregnant.
Yeah.
In second year.
Someone told my mom was pregnant. My mom never said anything. She said,
my mom was like, okay.
but because of that, and obviously it's one of those situations where now that I spoke to my mom,
and because your mom had to shop as well, everybody knew your mom.
Exactly.
So they knew, and like they're watching you. Instead of them to watch their own children, they're not watching their children.
Exactly.
They're watching you.
So now it kind of put my sister extra under the microscope. Do you get what I'm saying? So now it wasn't only the fact of like, oh, you're a girl and I don't want you to get pregnant, but also I extra don't want you to get pregnant because now it's gonna be like, told you, like just told you about these single parents. I told you about these kids, kind of a situation. So my sister got it a lot more than
she needed it.
She needed to, but also then once my mom became single parent and all that kind of shit, she then put everything into us. So then we were all kind of under a microscope. It got to a place where I just stopped asking to go. I stopped doing all that kind of stuff because I was like, she's gonna say no, blah 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 blah. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like my experience is slightly different, but my sister did get it worse than me.
But how many years is between you and your sister?
4 years either side.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, do you kind of think you love that strict approach? Because obviously we all come from different backgrounds. I didn't really have that strict approach on me. Nathan even less so. And I think I look at it like, oh, we didn't do bad in life. It's like we didn't have the microscope under us. I'm not saying that we're like this. We did great, but it turned out fine. So maybe I'm looking at it as like, let them walk back from school with their friends. Let them go for football play after. As long as the main thing stays the main thing. Obviously, that's how I was raised, isn't it? So as long as the main thing stays the main thing, they will be fine. Because I say this on the pod, like I think Nathan's like probably the most mentally strong out of us, but he had the most freedom. Like he'll come home at 12 on the school night.
See that middle child, they always get. You know my sister. She's the middle child. She could do whatever she wanted.
So that's what I wanted to ask you guys.
This is the thing. It's not that she could do whatever she wanted.
She just did.
She just dealt with the consequences of what came.
I was
with
not
it.
dealing with no consequences.
Yeah,
I was
that's true.
not ready to do a no consequences.
That's where the problem lies. Like
I had too much fear from my mom.
yeah, I know, but what I realize now is that you have to rebel. Like
No, I know.
But when you have a kid rebelling,
I don't have
they
that.
have to.
I don't have that in me. I don't think I have that in me.
I think you do. I just think that you.
I fear authority too much.
Is it that you fear authority, or you bought into the dream that they were selling?
What do you mean by that?
They sell you this dream of you go to school,
You be good.
then
You find a husband.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you do X, Y, Z,
XYZ, you get this, and that.
Exactly, and
So-
this won't happen.
And because they're your parents, you're like, and that's a good point because
But I'm also a very anxious person. I'm also a very I overthink everything in life. So
I bought into the dream. I listened to my parents. I was like, okay.
But you kind of
I go to
rebelled
school.
eventually.
In what way?
Like as in like
use drugs.
you think me? I could not. You are doing Molly. You are popping everything. You've even tried the white stuff. What is alleged?
Allegedly.
You've been doing it.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but no, I get both sides. But honestly, for the most part, it's like I remember being this is conditioning in religion, like it's very so mad. Because I remember being 6 years old and going to Sunday school, and they read. I know the verse. It's like, I think it's Ephesians 6:4 or Ephesians 4:6. It says, "Enfant, obéissez à vos parents selon le Seigneur." I remember it in French to this day. It essentially means, "Child, listen to your parents. Obey your parents according to the Lord." This is the only promise that comes with a blessing. This is the only blessing.
They cut out the end. You know, they cut out the end. Apparently, it's also the end of it is our parents don't antagonize you.
Yes, none of that.
They always
anger your child.
Yeah.
So we read that part, and I remember being 6, and I was like, okay, so if I obey my parents, God has promised for me. That, they put that in my head since 6. So I spent time. I was like, I'm in science because my dad's field. So I spent time like listening to my parents, and hey, things turned out pretty okay. But I still bought the dreams like, okay, you'll go to school, you get married, and then this will happen. And it's honestly turned out that way. So I understand that people buy into the dream. I know some people cop on early. It's like it is a dream you're selling because life isn't black and white like that. And I realize that now. It just turned out for me that way. But life is very complex. We come from different dynamics. Like statistically, single parent, because statistically you're bringing in less income, so you have less money to support your family. So then they can't get to tutors. They can't go to ballet. They can't go to football. So they don't have the same opportunity. So statistically, because they're coming from this disadvantage, they might not do as well to my sister who has 2 parents, 2 brothers working. They pay for her piano lessons. Like I can look at her and expect her friends to have that same level of privilege. I look at Kitty, I'm like, Kitty, you get your brothers to pay for piano lessons. Your friends who their mom has 4 girls in the house, just her, don't expect them to get the same level. It's just not saying they won't, but you have certain advantages that they just don't. It's
You need to go through life though.
yeah.
But
She's rebelling now.
yeah.
No, but I mean like she's too spoiled. She needs to
Yeah, like for me, how I want to raise my kids is
balance of spoiledness, but
a balance. But I also believe in I'm gonna give you the choice. Like I'm gonna give you the freedom to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to do something, I will tell you. You shouldn't do this because of this. But hey, by all means.
do you also think that now we won't care as much? Like if my children are doing certain things, I'm not gonna look at it as like, okay, that's my fault. Like if you say, that's Simi's child then, that she's out here, she's doing madness. Do you think it's different now? Because I'm not gonna lie, well, our parents, a lot of things is like, what are they gonna say outside? What are they gonna do? A lot of the reason why we couldn't do certain things is because, so and so is gonna say this about you. I don't think it's gonna be as much.
Yeah, like for an example, it's gonna be like the hair situation. Like we couldn't get certain. Like I always say to Simi, like we have a son, all the hairstyles.
No.
Get
Bro,
get everything.
No.
I came home. I came home.
It's
I came home with a
cornrows.
I came home with a mohawk. Mom cut that shit off.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a cornrows.
So
I couldn't get cornrows. DJ Drogba had cornrows and long relaxed hair. I was like, man, I want to look like Drogba, man.
Well, thank God she didn't relax your hair.
do you remember those boys back then when they used to relax their hair and they used to be doing turn around and die? That's the type of people that used to do those relaxed hair. So that's what you would have been.
No, I just don't look like Drogba, man. I didn't want to do it over a beat, nigga.
But like, I feel like don't want to instill. I want to be cool with my kids. You know what I mean? Like I want to actually be able to like, yo, chat to me kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, right? I feel like our parents don't give us credit for being good kids.
No.
Because the thing is,
it's almost expected.
There's nothing that, genuinely, if I decided that I want to be out there on badness, there is nothing we can do.
I remember I said this to, I think all of us actually, we turned around to my mom because she was giving about something. None of us is on drugs. None of us has had a pregnancy. None of us are out here on the street.
Sometimes you have to remind them. Like,
I was like, so what is it? Like the small things that you're complaining about. There's people's children that do 10 times worse,
and
but you're not
it's
talking.
also the ones that they compare us to as well. Like,
I'm like, if you know what they're doing, if you know the grudge.
You know why that's so? Sometimes that child, they fuck up publicly. You're like, haha. Because it's not even their fault. Because I've been in instances and you're in churches and there's people talking up kids and talking up people. You're like, but him, that nigga.
Think about it. Yeah, Katie sat on this couch and said he scored most of his goals in
church.
I bet you, how many of those aunties were looking at him like, why can't you be more like David? Well, you don't know David is playing the piano and he's like, I scored a header last week.
Those the guys that
the instrumentalists, yeah.
But that's the thing for me. I feel like if a kid decides that they want to do something, right, you don't stop them from doing it. They just get better at doing it and hiding it.
Yeah.
Like think about how many people have snuck out. They go instead of going to school. Instead of going, I never had anywhere to go.
But
I didn't know. There was things to go. I was
bare to get on a bike.
And my mom can hear anything in the house. You can hear the creaks. Like you go to the bathroom at 2 a.m. Mom's like, who's that in the bathroom? I'm like, where do you sleep? Where do you sleep?
Yeah, like but there's stuff like all of those things. You just find better ways to do it. If you go in trouble for sneaking out, you don't say I'm never sneaking out again. You say okay, next time don't do that. So it's kind of like, is it really worth it?
I think we all say this in theory though. Everybody would like to be the cool parent. Everybody would like to be the talk to me parent. But then you still have to be a parent. No, you that's the first step.
But you don't have to have fear. Like, do you know how many things that I wanted to say to my mom and I'm like, no, actually, I'm just keep it. There's like I know your parents sometimes look at you and go, what is actually stressing you? There's nothing in this life stressing you. Like you have no stress.
I can't tell you that I have heartbreak. You told me not to have a boyfriend.
How true that is! But that's crying.
Let me tell you, see? That's what
you're crying in your room and your mom calls you to come downstairs to scale fish. And you're like, you want me to scale fish? Why I'm crying?
Because the thing is, if you had actually let me have that boyfriend, if you had actually let me have that boyfriend, right? And we actually spoke about this boyfriend, I wouldn't be taking advice from my friend that's telling me to suck dick.
That's true. They always turn around and just say, oh, if you just took it. It's always the case.
But it's true.
But ask them if they're sucking dick, they're probably not even sucking dick.
Because the thing is right. At 13, 14, what do we know?
About anything. Like the blind leading the blind. Why am I listening to 15-year-old Chris tell me my girl?
Bro, crazy. Do you know there was times where niggas are talking about like having sex with his girl or whatever. People that have never had sex before are giving advice. I don't know how. I know because I was one giving advice when I had sex.
So maybe if you just do this.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what? You guys used to watch porn and think you know everything.
But that's because there is nowhere else to teach us. Do you know what I mean?
I always say it's like if maybe the first people I've had sex with told me I was bad, I'll take it on the chin. I always say Oloni on Twitter when she started was my first time seeing it through a different lens. It was actually a real life woman talking about having sex.
Yeah, because
and then you're like, oh man.
Especially the fingering. Oh my god, men used to.
But
insane.
That's
and women as well. They used to keep their mouth shut.
Yeah. But that's because there was nobody to teach you. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're asking another 13-year-old, like that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's how it's
do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not that I'm going to parents. Yes, you know what I'm saying.
It's 13 mad though.
What?
To be having sex.
Yeah, 13 is mad.
It's mad, but you know when you're 13, you don't think it's mad.
Yeah, because it's you.
You think you're mature.
I did it at 16. I think it's mad.
But no, 16 is not mad.
Don't have sex.
Don't have sex. But like
teen pregnancy is real.
But what's called like is you're not gonna feel like that because you're the oldest you've ever been.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're going through everything as you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you probably look at 21-year-old you now, like, oh, you're a baby. But when you were 21, you were that guy. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So you can't really say that.
Freedom. I was in Galway, living a life, and no parents.
And that's the thing. Like everybody goes through that thing. We were that uncle. Like now we're that uncle that's telling you, yo, when you're in college, focus, man. Don't do it.
Yes.
When that guy was telling us, shut up, man.
I know you're
what do you know? Uncle.
That's what I'm saying. They were saying youth is wasted on the young. Because it's only you get older that you realize the youth is like, yo, bro, do this, because when you're young, you're wasting it. Like you said, man, why is this uncle talking to me in this way? And that's why now I actually listen to older people when they tell me, it's like, yo, maybe you want to do it this way, or if you're going to work this way, or blah, blah. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take it more on board now. Being 17, I'm like, this guy, man, even my barber, the first one of the adults, I remember I was sitting there, all these people talking, and I started driving, like 17, talking about driving, so you think you're the guy. And his advice street, I think I've said it before, it says, Jordan, now that you drive, yeah? Remember the girl that was walking with you everywhere. And that just applies in life. Every time you level up in anything in life, remember who took the journey with you. And I had the foresight to kind of listen to it then, but back then you could just be like, yeah, but man's driving though, I need to get new babes. You know that kind of way he's telling you due to his experience, and you maybe use the driving as the analogy, but he recognizes that I've gone through life, and the people that have helped me along the journey are the people that should be with me there when I am enjoying the fruits as a labor. That kind of way.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So like, oh God, don't tell me it's gone now. My memory is so like.
My shock is also
my memory is so shocking. I think I had to. Oh yeah, friendships.
Yeah.
So Mel and you're like on the side of getting closer to 30. You've probably had the majority of your friends for like 10 years, 15, some even longer. Have you had like friendship breakups?
Yeah. And
do you feel like when it happened, it was just like, yeah, that's it? Because why I'm asking is because when women go through like friendship breakups, it's so like, it's almost so intense. But I wonder if it's the same for male, or they just say, it is what it is and that's it, kind of. I think for men, like, well, I'll speak for me. I've never had something end because of beef. Yeah. It's always fizzled out. Okay. So it's not that. It's never beef or anything like that. It's just that every once in a while you might, oh shit, actually, you know what? I haven't spoken to that person in ages. I kind of miss those times. But it's never like it's never anything, do you know what I'm saying? Beef, so it's not something like, it didn't affect me like that. Like imagine a relationship where you guys break up amicably and say, you know, it's not working for both of us and we go our separate ways. It could hurt, but it's not deep. Do you know what I'm saying? But if it's like you cheated on me, fuck you, blah blah blah, that's when that pain is different. So I haven't gone through a beef disagreement for it to be a problem. You know what I mean? Why I'm saying that is because like I've recently gone through like a friendship kind of breakup, but it wasn't beef. It was just when a friendship is too one-sided, after a while you're just like, I'm tired of carrying this on my back, that kind of thing. And this person was close to me, but I don't miss the person. So I'm wondering, like, were we actually friends? Because you know, like, obviously if you break up with someone, whether in a relationship or like friendship, whatever, like you should miss them at some point. But there's no like, there's none of that. I don't feel that. So I'm feeling like, is it just that it's gonna come to me later? Am I not a good friend? Like, what is it? I think that they just didn't offer anything. Like, because if they offered something, you'd miss what they offered. Even that, yeah. Even though, like you're saying, even in relationships where all the guy offered it was good dick, let's say for example, or the sex was good, you miss that part. Even if the rest of the relationship was toxic, he was broke, blah blah blah, he never took you out. But if that's what he offered you and that's what was good for you, you would at least miss that. Like, because if you're not linking up with this person regularly, if you're not really speaking to this person regularly, if you're not going to this person for advice, them being in your life and not being in your life doesn't change, because like if it's somebody that you guys spoke every day, you're gonna miss speaking to that person because you miss the conversation. You know back when you guys were dating and you beef and you didn't text for a day, my phone is dry. Yeah.
You're
going to
missing
work
something.
to check.
Yeah, you're looking at it.
To check.
You know the worst part is
So who's gonna put the price down?
You put the thing on like mute, yeah, like maybe the message on, you know, you're on like iMessage, you can put it on mute, but you still be going to go and check.
Yeah.
Why you put it on mute? Why you put it on mute?
We feel living together, but you know you just have to go back to that house. It's like you're just gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to go back and deal with that part.
I don't think you're in a good. You guys aren't friends, or you are a good friend, or whatever. It's just that if they offered nothing, there's nothing to miss. Like that's just pretty much what it is.
Yeah, because I've gone through one friendship breakup. Again, it wasn't beef. It was just like I've told you guys about the situation. A certain thing happened, and then first because he was such a good friend of ours, he's the reason I have the majority of my friends. So this day he introduced me to the majority of them. So initially there's a bit of denial. You're like, nah, he wouldn't do that. They're lying on his name, blah blah blah. And then when you get more information, you have to be honest with yourself. Like, look, he was a good friend to you, but again, we don't know what these people do behind closed doors.
But how much do you back a friend?
How much do I back a friend?
Yeah. Because I was, sorry, the reason why I say that is because yesterday we were having that conversation, remember I was saying about some guy went to, okay, imagine someone goes to prison or they're in court for something and it's proven that they didn't do this thing, but the narrative is they did this thing. So either like, I don't know, just people pick whatever, whatever the perception of whatever it is,
Yeah.
There's some allegations.
Do you like? Will you stay knowing that person's innocent, but everybody thinks that person's not innocent? Like, how far are you willing to back? Do you know what I mean?
I was trigger warning as usual. There's some allegation. I'm not saying I would back it publicly. Like, there's some allegations of sexual assault that are very serious, and honestly, like. In those ones, there's really no proof. Like, if someone says that I didn't do it, for the most part, it's between the two people in that room. Do you know that kind of way? So, in those situations, wholeheartedly, I'm not going to go on the internet or on social media and be like, nah, my boy wouldn't do that, my boy wouldn't do that.
But you're still friends with them.
And that's the other side of it.
Like, that's what...
That's the other side.
Friends with them?
Like, and I guess that's an extreme. Forget that situation because that's very extreme, but just in general, how would you back a friend? How much? And I guess it is situation depending. If you say my friend stole your money, I might still be friends with him. I'll say charge him.
There's if we're talking about like sexual assault and stuff like that, I'll treat it differently to
Okay, say if they said now this person did fraud.
That's what was my
No, but like they've done like mad, like hush puppy mad. You still back them. No, you still back them.
The fraud that they take from the white man, yeah?
Yeah. Well, you still back them.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Okay, if they say that, they say that, what's it called? They were, okay, a child, trigger warning, a child was killed. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. You didn't kill that, you know you didn't kill that person, that child. Yeah. But you were caught in that scene.
See, what I get what
so, you were caught in that scene, the police caught you in that scene, you didn't do it. You went to court, the trial was going on for like 2 years, because you know these things take forever. For 2 years, they eventually said, okay, you didn't do it. But newspapers, media have put your picture, child killer. Do you back that person, knowing that the person has told you, I didn't kill them, the court has found them not guilty, but as people, we don't care if you're not guilty or not. Once you've already
opinion,
so are you backing that person?
Yeah, because I can justify the backing. Because I can be like, look, they said he's not guilty. Yeah, because I can justify. Like, I get what you're saying, and that's the thing we're alluding to as well. Once it's like fraud and stealing, because you're not like harming human life. Maybe in our brains we say, okay, when it's sexual assault and murder, you're actually physically harming another person. So maybe that's why in our brain it's like we like that one back into the way. But if in the situation you gave, and then I can actually say no, he went to court, he did his due diligence, the lawyer found him not, the court found him not guilty. He says he didn't do it. Just because now you people decide he's guilty, that's
so you back.
Yeah, I think in that situation.
In that situation,
because the thing is like if you didn't mean to kill, like you didn't even kill the person.
You didn't. You just walked in and.
And the kid, but that's my boy, man.
Yeah, that's easy to back.
Because that situation, anything could happen, and you didn't actually do anything. Do you know what I'm saying? If you now went out and you rode out on some 10-year-old kid and bro, I can't be your boy.
What if you were a manslaughter and you were fighting your wife and you mistakenly killed her? Or same thing, wife kills husband, both mistaken. They were fighting.
Mistaken, but what happened? Because the
Never
thing is, I can't. If it's one of those things that you've been beating on your wife, and then you this one time you accidentally get, I can't fuck with you. Do you get what I'm saying? If it's one of those situations where
you might have pushed her
and she hits her head,
wardrobe, get off me.
Yeah.
But how do you know that was the first time? Because it would be like, essentially for you to get to that is what you're saying. It must have taken steps to get to that. Nobody really assumed it was just like one step, say, get off me, and then slip, trip, fall, hit head.
Like there's an asterisk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be like, see, the thing about these things, right, is that they're so, nobody will ever know what happened.
Yeah, don't need to see people die.
Like, and that's why it's kind of like, trigger warning, with all this like sexual assault stuff and all this kind of like, oh, your boy did this, your boy did this. Because everyone always uses the thing of like, oh, but women lie. Like there's girls that lie. And the thing is like, it would be easier if we could just say believe all women. But because even if it's just one, even if it's just one, she's fucked it up for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, a lot of these things, we will never know. Like, we will, like, it's like, that's just it, we will never know. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's one of those situations as well, like, girls look at guys crazy for being friends with guys that are like abusers and stuff like that. But there's some niggas that have been on lists. The girls are rocking with him like nothing changed. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now,
new relationships, new like I see what you're saying.
But now, like, if a girl can't sympathize with the shit that happens to another girl,
and then it becomes easier for the boys to justify that too.
You know what I'm saying?
So, well, if you guys are saying believe all women, but the women are still rocking with that guy who's on multiple lists, why do I now? Like you can see how a guy could justify it
because like when it comes to your friend, right? It's weird because like the thing is, I got flip this question on you. What if one of your friends, it turns out that they're in a what's called abusive relationship with their man, and they were beating up their man all the time, and they were doing all this to their man all the time? Are you still friends with them?
I don't know. I don't know if I could. Because I just think violence is just one of those things that are a bit. Am I just finding out, or have I been knowing?
Let's even just say you just found out.
Do I speak? Like, I would speak to the person.
Your friend, like this is your
my ride or die. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to distance myself for a little bit.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have to distance myself. Like, for instance, like say, like it was Wura. Like, Wura's my ride or die, and God forbid she was out here kicking niggas in the head or something like that. Some wild shit, like,
funny.
you know, like
Edwards.
out here kicking niggas in the head. Yeah, I might have to be like, I need to distance myself until I gather myself and be like, yo, like.
But you'd want more information.
I'd need to find out, and then I'll be like, why? Are you sick?
I think as like people, we just want to simplify this to be like, they do this, cut them out, and sometimes it is that. But we see people who are murderers, they kill people, and their families and their loved one are still visiting them in prison, even their wives or whatever. They're still visiting
Jeffrey
them.
Dahmer's dad visited him in prison up until the time he died.
Yeah,
like,
and then because we love different
eating people.
And this is someone we love. Some people sometimes we love our friend, like our own family.
You know what that always makes me think of? Like, there's such extremes. Like, there's parents that would still be with their children and be like, I can't break this bond. I know my child is sick. Like, he's killing people. And then there's some people that their children are doing nothing. They're doing everything right, but they're gay, and they're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, different things mean different things too.
And that's the thing. I think sometimes we just try to simplify it as people and do everything as black and white. And we just try to like, and a lot of it is projecting. It's like, because I feel like I would cut someone off if they did that. Why hasn't that person done the same thing? Because
you don't feel the same way for that person as
exactly. And you don't have the context they have. You don't have the relationship they have. They've not felt you.
Does that mean the parent doesn't love the child as much?
No, not really.
Not really, because some people, like, for example, they stand by their values so much, and I was like, with all this talk of Qatar and the LGBT community in those countries, they stand by those values so much. Do you have
gay friends?
No.
Either gay or lesbian?
No, actually, no. I think I've probably got some friends on the spectrum somewhere. You know, well, he's 14%. Tommy's 10%.
He's perfect.
No, in Pfizer, it was a guy called, like, shout out to him, I had a friend there, I don't want to put his name out, but yeah, he made me really think about my perception, because like I always say, grew up going to church, grew up very Christian, blah blah, that community seen a certain way. And then I've said this on this pod, but I meet this guy and he's the loveliest, most heartwarming.
Do you think that would change though, if any of your friends come out now and say, do you know what, I think I've discovered?
Nah, I don't give a fuck.
You fucking me.
No, I know, but I'm just wondering, like, how is it that no one has gay friends?
I feel like,
is it that we're as a community we're still hiding, or?
No, they're both. And like, are we counting bisexuals into this?
I guess, yeah.
Oh,
But
in that
someone-
case.
In that case, because there's some girls. That are,
Yeah, but a lot of girls are.
We've had a few. We
Exactly.
were on the couch. She admitted she was on a date when the viral video went out.
Yeah. Like,
So
but also back to
I
that.
wouldn't say she was our friend, but yeah.
Back to that though, I do feel like sometimes with these overly religious people, you know, for them, it's the end goal is heaven, and it's like this is you're condemning yourself to hell. I love you so much, I don't want you to go to hell. So this thing, no matter how bad it is, like it needs to be a thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think that's how they might feel about it, but I'm not sure. You know, this is a Christmas episode. We're getting all dark and shit.
Oh shit, yeah. This is the Christmas episode.
So what are you doing for Christmas?
Yeah, I don't care about Christmas. Like, I'm not gonna.
Why are you a Grinch? Something to do with your childhood?
Well, people would say that. But actually,
No, I'm just wondering.
no, people generally would say that.
I think I said this last year to him. I think it's because there was no Christmas like it's kind of Muslim as well. So
Oh yeah,
it's
I forget that
there's-
sometimes.
So there's
Like,
no.
my dad is Muslim.
Yeah.
Still.
Like, you know what it is, yeah?
Yeah, what is Yusuf?
Like,
So it's Muslim name.
Yeah, my interest is my Muslim name.
But do you think, are your siblings like that? Well, I know your sister is,
My sister's converted.
She's converted
But she
now.
was the one who tried to make it the most Christmassy.
Okay.
Like, she decorated the house, all that kind of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
she, like, tried to do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Christmas is... I feel like I don't like it because I feel like they're lying to you. They sell you that it's one thing, but it's really not.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it's changed
really,
over the years.
It's really just about money.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's
you
all
know what
about
I'm saying?
spending money. Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where I don't like the fact that you're making people feel like they have to go into debt to just provide
Yeah.
this one day.
Mhm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like people are taking out credit cards.
Yeah.
It's
all
that Drake
these-
bar. He says, "I'm more concerned about niggas thinking about Christmas in August."
Jesus Christ! Like,
Mm.
It's like
Yeah.
you're thinking about because, like you're saying, we were talking about single parents earlier with like maybe 3 kids. They have to think about Christmas earlier. They can't just wake up in October and oh shit in 2 months. So they're already that kind of stress and the
Don't
pressure to go back to school with their kids and everything.
The
Yeah.
only reason I like Christmas is just people spending time together.
yeah, I guess that's cool too.
I think it's.
That's it. Like I don't care about the presents. It's not. It's not about the presents. Like I would be open to be like, oh yeah, my friends can come over for Christmas.
Yeah,
And we
we're gonna
I'll
do
just
Friends
cook.
Miss one of these years. I told Morris already. So Friends
I also hate
down the country, California.
I also hate the music. Fucking annoys me. It's just cringy. It's
You know like Feliz Navidad?
No.
My mom loves that song.
That's my favorite song. You know that's the song that they started something.
I don't like all like the like it just.
Do you think it'll change when you have kids?
Everyone keeps saying this, and I don't.
No, I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying, do you think you
I
would make a
don't
bit
know.
more,
Like I don't know, maybe, but
a bit more effort?
I don't know if I want my kids to believe in Santa Claus.
You don't want them to be living a white man
No,
that
I hear
provides.
it. No, I do
bro,
hear it.
Like,
Dr. Umar.
do you, like
I
my
hear
heart
it,
works.
I hear it.
Where is this wedding we gonna take this?
You know.
No, but okay. Apart from that, right? I feel like Santa Claus is part of the reason why kids have unrealistic expectations from parents. If you're a parent that can't afford anything, not that that's gonna be me, but
Amen.
like they feel like it's just coming from a guy that makes it. So they're gonna ask for the craziest shit. They're gonna ask for shit that's like,
Oh yeah. No, actually, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna let them know there is this figure called Santa Claus, but you remember that it's coming from our pockets. It's not.
But what
coming
age
from-
though? You don't want to let them.
I knew
They're
that
gonna
Santa
tell
was
us. They're
bring
gonna
from 7.
They're gonna listen to this episode. They're gonna be like, "Let kids be kids."
I never believed in Santa Claus.
I did up until I was 7, and then a white little boy in my class said, "Oh, you know, Santa's not."
Who was this?
Huh?
What was his name? What
I can't remember, like Andrew or something like that. He was like an atheist, and he was like, yeah.
Andrew's an atheist at 7.
Imagine at 7 being the
Well,
atheist.
the thing is like they people make it seem like if you don't let your kids believe in Santa Claus, why are you ruining their childhood? How's that ruining their
And then I went
childhood?
to tell everybody in my class, and then my teacher gave out to me.
Yeah, but how's that ruining your childhood? And I think it might be Charlemagne or something like that. Yeah, he says you tell your kid that the Tooth Fairy is real, the Santa Claus is real, and the Easter Bunny is real, right? And also God is real. And then systematically you tell them 3 out of the 4 are not real, and also the 3 out of the 4 that have actually given them physical things aren't real. When God didn't give you nothing, are you not gonna be like?
That's not real either.
Tooth Fairy gave me money that I spent. Santa Claus got me presents that I played with, and I asked for Easter Bunny. What is it?
Chocolates and
shit. Easter Bunny gave me that. What did God give you that is tangible?
That's true, actually.
That's true. Cause maybe I'll do something. Yeah,
that's actually
for Christmas then.
Look, the thing is
Christmas.
it's not a fight that
I'm not pro anti-Christmas. I used to like the vibes Christmas leading to Christmas.
I like
more.
the vibes of Christmas.
Like especially when I could go to town more, and I was in town, and I was going for drinks.
I always make sure I meet up with friends at Christmas.
That kind of thing. Now it's just like it's gonna happen. Like I don't think I'm meeting up with friends like I used to. Like I don't think you're back in Ireland now. Oh, you're doing this. That's or I don't work enough close to town. But let me just pop into Grafton Street, get an ice chocolate, or you're texting people. Anybody remember those days in Snap? Anyone in town? And then you just pop into town.
Who used to do that?
You did.
No, people definitely did it.
Yeah. But you know what it is? Actually, no. Maybe it's not I don't like Christmas. I don't like the commercial aspect of Christmas.
Yeah.
Even so much so, like this is how, like, I don't go all the way left to all this, like, like all these stupid theories and all this kind of shit.
Like the Earth is flat. And
yeah, because like.
You think the Earth is flat?
No, I don't.
But when you drive.
But I do think.
I do want to know.
I do think they didn't land on the moon.
No, I don't believe that.
Because
I don't believe that because
you're not telling me.
Yes,
you're not telling me the most technological advance we've ever been, and you haven't been back.
Yeah. And this technology advance was in the 60s.
Yeah.
We went to the moon in the 60s.
Yeah,
and it's 2022, where we can look at each other's. We used to see shit in movies. We used to see screen talking in movies, and we're like, that's never gonna happen.
Bro.
But we do it on our phones. We're not going back to the moon.
I can walk the streets of Milan on Google Earth, but I can't go to the moon.
Yeah. I don't believe that.
Then it's like how look. That's not even what I'm going to say.
There's a lot of theories that I don't.
Exactly. But where I was kind of like, even the whole COVID thing annoyed me as well because everything's on lockdown. I was like, watch Christmas. They will never lock you down without Christmas. It's impossible.
No, they opened it for December and they locked it up again.
They said,
2020.
yeah,
both of them.
Both of them. What's called? They opened it up. They said, 2 weeks Christmas, do whatever you want. And then, cases have gone up. We got to close everything down again. What is it?
Do you miss lockdown?
To a certain degree, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Actually, but you know what?
A nice lockdown would be
I'm
nice.
actually happy that COVID happened.
Why?
Because COVID has transformed my life. You just like think about. Do you remember having to go to the office 5 days a week?
Yeah.
God
Which
forbid.
you remember? You still do that now? Charge it.
God forbid. What's your guys' favorite Christmas memory?
Your favorite Christmas?
Favorite Christmas memory.
When
I also think Christmas Day legit is boring.
Yeah.
That's why I said you can come over.
Christmas Day legit is boring.
You're the so said I'm invited everybody on the pod. Y'all can come.
You don't know where I live in.
My favorite Christmas memory, I think there was one Christmas Nathan had his arm broken.
Why did? Oh my God!
Let me get to the rest of the story.
Why would that be
The story has not finished.
No, it's the fact that your brother is in pain. That's your favorite Christmas.
The best memory is that my dad took off the cast. And because he's had it on for like a while, whatever. But you know when your kids, maybe it was only 6 weeks, but everything just felt like ages he had it on. So then when they took it off, and this nigga was in tears, as in bawling, and I was laughing at him because it probably felt so heavy. So when they took it off, he's like, I think my arm was broken again. That part, when he just said that, especially with his French little voice, that had to be the best memory.
French?
Yeah, we speak French, but that was the only Christmas memory that I like. Other than that, it's like you. I just look forward to the chocolate and wine every year. Chocolate and wine on the couch.
Mine was just probably mine is definitely when I was younger, and like my parents would like let us open at midnight. But now, for the last few years there was no presents, or if there was presents, it was just kind of like, you know what you're getting. It would be like everybody spend minimum 50 to 100 euro, and then I spend it all day in the kitchen cooking.
Wait, that's another thing. How do you enjoy Christmas if you're in the kitchen all day?
Now we're doing it the day, it's the 2 days before.
I'm gonna do it the day before, or I'm gonna give something to someone.
That's the thing. As you get older, you realize. Do you know what? Everybody cooks something and just bring it together.
Yeah,
Everybody cook one thing. Like everybody make this. My mom is making
sister.
something. Like, it's like everybody make one thing and pull up. So, but do you have a favorite Christmas memory? Or do you want to share something to the game?
Favorite Christmas memory.
Why are you laughing already?
Because it was the time that I left Moya and I ran. He was getting beats from his dad and I left him and I ran.
That was at Christmas?
Yeah, it was Christmas.
Did you guys live across from each other?
Yeah, literally right around.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
Yeah.
That big field. I remember one year that we all spent at Mayo's gaff because there was no parents there. And we used to just, and then, were you not there? It was like Corda and everybody, and then Mayo's dad promised to take us to Summerfest. We all got ready. He never took us. Never took us. We all got ready, waiting. Well, never happened.
Things very changed to the game this week, man.
I went to the petrol station, yeah.
Are you diesel or petrol?
Petrol now.
Oh.
I put in the tenner in my tank. The needle didn't move.
So why did you put a tender?
I am a tenner.
What's the point?
No, because I was driving from like one of the
like if I was a guy at the cash tin and you came and said I put tenure, I'm like, bro.
I bought a fiber right before.
No, I put a fiber back in the days. No, this was back.
You can't put less than 5, innit?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. You can.
You can.
You can't put less than 5.
Oh no! Now when petrol is crazy, no.
You couldn't put less than 5.
But but like it was a super expensive petrol station, and I literally just needed enough to just last me to get to where I was going.
Petrol's.
It's gone down now.
I know. I miss being petrol.
Yeah. I miss my diesel car though.
I miss when I first started driving and it was still like 1.15 or 1.2.
Yeah. When it was still.
It was. I remember that. I remember because me and Word learned how to drive at the same time, and we just used to drive for bonds because petrol was that cheap.
Yeah.
Just go anywhere.
What are you trying to give this week, babe?
This week. Working for the white man, I guess. Waking up at 6 o'clock.
David's here with now you roll his eyes.
Waking up at 6 o'clock. Doing that. I feel like my car has started making some noise and I'm starting to get scared.
That's your charge every week. Corporate
I've been turning the volume up.
You know what it is, yeah? Your car knows that. That's when the bonus coming.
We should not sit down there.
Christmas is coming up.
What about you?
What am I trying? Oh shit, I literally had it in my head just there. What am I trying to do to the game this week? The fucking month of December. And how busy and active it just tends to be. Just that whole constant activity. And I enjoy it because like there's parts of it which is just perks of the work we put in and we're in certain environment. But there's aspects of it I'm just like, man, is it every week that we have to mingle, talk? Just that aspect of everybody, like I said, the good aspect, everyone wants to link up. The aspect of it, you have to leave your house to link up. So the whole month of December would just be expensive. There's always something to do, petrol to buy, you're still working. But yeah, to get some traction down to the game.
2023, you see how like there's so many like concerts going.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to be going to it? Because like Chris Brown is coming, apparently Beyonce might be doing a world tour. There's
If you bring the husband, I'll have to see you.
Anyways, and then
God did.
and then there's Burna and then Wizkid who are doing it back to back.
That weekend had so much potential, but we checked hotel prices, bro.
It was like 1,000 something.
God, I tried to go to the game. London that weekend, you just have to wait until it's back down.
Yeah, that or
Airbnb and get bare rooms.
Everyone get massive Airbnb.
Yeah.
Massive Airbnb.
And because I know I was talking to like someone about it, it's like maybe some people that get like the outskirts of London and making their way in because we had a look at a few of them around area, even the ones we stayed at.
London is very expensive though.
Just get a designated driver. That's what you need. You need a designated driver.
But who wants to drive
and
London?
But the thing is, it's not everyone drinks. So you get someone that.
Butch would actually do it.
Yeah. Rent a car, designated driver.
Or
come
outside London.
Literally just get everyone to put money together and get a hire bus.
Yeah.
But then you have to do it for 2 days, innit?
Yeah.
What's it called?
No, there's probably just ways around it because usually it's obviously you go to the initial top hotel, underground, soft life.
These are brokey problems, you know.
We have to find a way to find a way around it.
What's what? Did you guys have to end this off? Do you guys have a Christmas tradition that you feel like you're gonna pass on to your kids and all of that?
Not really, you know.
Now that you have a new household, do you guys have a Christmas tree?
Yeah, we got one.
Of course.
Why you always don't get it.
Jordan doesn't care what happens in that household. Once there's bread, eggs,
We have to go shopping
and juice, that's all he cares. That's it.
One day they were like, "Oh, we need a Christmas tree." I was like, "What do you need to shop for a Christmas tree?"
I can't remember the last time I had a Christmas tree in the house.
See, my mom makes it a big deal. Like, if the Christmas tree, after like maybe 2-3 years, she's like, we need a new one. I'm like, that one's perfectly fine. But for her, she's like, no, let's get a new one. So because of that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep that going.
I think my mom tried to do that when we were younger, and the older we got, the less we gave a fuck. And she gave a fuck.
And then because like this is my nephew's first Christmas is when they're coming over, I wanted to be like very Christmassy so we can get all the Christmas pictures for him. Yeah.
So, but what's your tradition?
Yeah, we don't really like. There's no Christmas tradition in our house. I think it actually became a tradition maybe in the last 3-4 years. Is that Nathan, my brother, has a Christmas Eve party every year.
Is that happening this year?
Yeah, it's in the gaff as well. My parents' gaff. So every year you pull up.
I might have to. Actually, I'm actually not going to give up.
Yeah, I think that's the only tradition that we've probably made ourselves. Other than that, literally Christmas Day, you were there. There's nothing special. We play card games, but everybody does that every year.
No. We just used to play Monopoly as a family, and then it just gets intense, and some people go to their room.
I love Monopoly.
Monopoly is stressful.
It's the coolest game. I think I've only lost one game, and that's because
Monopoly.
They fucked it up for me.
No, I don't think we don't really.
They cheated, so I could have won.
We don't really do anything. It's just we just play Monopoly. In the morning we just play Christmas tunes. My parents come down to the kitchen, watch me cook, and then dance.
See, they hear the feeling of voice.
Right.
The only one that I liked, the one we used to do is every Christmas morning, Akara and Boogie in the morning.
Oh, I used to love that. My mom used to do that. Yeah. Yeah, my mom used to do that. Or she used to do that every random Sunday. It was always a Sunday. It was never a Saturday. It was always a Sunday.
Also, Loki, I want to say, Christmas dinner is underwhelming, and it usually is.
Do you know what? Because obviously this is our first Christmas, and I keep asking. I'm like, what do I need to make? Yeah, do you know? So I have I'm like, okay, my older sister, she said that she's gonna make pepper soup or whatever. She's gonna do turkey, and then my mom's gonna do fish, but I don't fuck with fish, so it has nothing to do with me. But I'm obviously gonna make jollof fried, and then I was like, okay, I want to make dodo giz and effo, and then I'm like, what else? What else is gonna make the
Christmas
food? Yeah, do you know what I mean?
We never had traditional Christmas food in our house.
Yeah,
it was always those.
We always had turkey.
It's just a roast.
Yeah,
it was a roast. Yeah.
Roast.
But they do that. I have that at work when they give out it's free Christmas dinner. That's when it happens. But usually jollof, all that stuff. That's what I'm expecting for Christmas. I'm not expecting any tradition. Are we doing roast and all that?
Yeah, I might have to because if Anna comes.
All right. Okay. We diversify our house, not only diversifying the positive.
Tell when the room does the room has to.
She said the jollof is too spicy.
Take this in charge.
Get her some milk, man.
You make her do hot ones with jollof.
Huh?
That's a good idea.
Cut that out.
But you know how many times that you say cut things out and then I'll see you guys leave it in. I'm like,
because we can't be bothered.
Yeah. No, there's certain things that we did. We have cut out.
No. This is
certain things we have cut out.
If it's something we're most likely joking, but if it's something that needs to, trust me. I'm texting Jordan.
Trust me, we've got things out. We've got things out what we needed to.
And then just to final off, 2023, do you have expectations?
Money.
Expectations personally or podcast?
Yeah, what you expect for because this year, to be honest, I just thought it was going to be just get everything back to normal because we've been in pandemic for 2 years. But then 2023 is actually meant to be your normal year, if that makes sense.
What we consider as normal is not coming back.
I know, but as in we're gonna be so almost so far away from the pandemic a little bit in a way. So that's why I'm like, what do you expect for? I
don't have any expectations of the year outside. Maybe for myself, I want.
Do you want a new car? Do you think your money's gonna? Yeah, I know you. Yeah, anyways, for your car, it's always car story. New car, money up. Do you want to travel more? Do you have Okay, so like
it's not like everything you're saying you want.
okay, so like next year, like say like okay, do you have like a goal of like okay, I want to travel to 3 countries or I need to travel to 5?
I never put a figure on that.
Or like you need to go somewhere far because I feel like next year, anyways, for me, I want to go somewhere far.
Yeah,
I'm tired of
I want to
Europe.
leave the continent.
I'm tired of Europe.
I've left the continent since I came into this continent.
Really?
I went to Turkey, but I don't know if I was on the European side or the Asian side.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's 2 sides. But even that, I don't have, like, I want to be...
Go to Mexico. Mexico.
I would recommend Southeast Asia. Because
Mexico
is still very expensive because they're smart. They know they get a lot of tourism, American tourists, so it's American prices.
Yeah.
Whereas Southeast Asia, you get cheap prices.
Yeah, no.
Bali and Thailand.
I might be going to... No, next year for sure I'm going to SA. And I'm going to Nigeria next year for sure, 100%.
Damn, podcast paying you.
I'm Lurgo Jesus.
Share that account.
What?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, it's just, I think at this stage in my life, it's going to be the same consistency. I want more money, I want to travel more, I want to do, like, I want a new car, I want, like, just same regular shit, like, you know what I mean?
Because, like, obviously, like, in the next maybe 5 years, you might be married, amen, so we can come and dance and eat jollof. But I'll give you 5 years.
It's only you that says on the phone.
I said 5 years, I'm not even saying next year, I'll give you 5 years. So 5 years is plenty. Don't say that. There's some women out here waiting for you.
This is the thing, y'all niggas can wait. Y'all can wait, boy.
Deji is funny.
Anyway,
the story that I can only tell off on.
That's not up to my story,
Anyway, you want to go next year?
Next year, I'd like to always go back to Southeast Asia. I think I need to do it on a vacation thing. So fun and all like you, but there's different vibes when you do vacation thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, villa. You wake up nice.
You know what I mean?
What's called? Are you guys gonna get in the pool and then they have the
you know, there's different vibes that you have to do.
And the breakfast.
Yeah, when you put the breakfast. Why are you eating in the pool? I don't understand.
No, that's just
I've seen people the breakfast just tumble into. So now what do you do?
It's the most.
That's just for Insta.
It's just for Insta.
It's just for Insta. It has to be. It's not practical.
Yeah, what am I eating in the pool? I'm not even comfortable eating in the pool.
Yeah, it's not practical. But yeah, no, I'd like to the trip to Southeast Asia for sure. I've not been to South America yet, but I don't know what country would slap in South America. Like, maybe like Colombia has cartels.
I'd love to go to Colombia.
Well, you know there's cartels in Colombia.
Yeah, but my friend Catherine, she went to Colombia and she said there's safe parts in Colombia.
Yeah, no, I would like to go to South America because I've been to North, I've been to Asia. I haven't been back to Africa, obviously, but maybe I'd like to do that too.
Any of you go to Russia?
God.
I'm sure Russia, what the World Cup was there, so you go back.
Yeah, because it's World Cup.
I know. Honestly, I don't really feel like I have an interest to go somewhere cold.
Yeah, never.
So you
it's
don't
cold here all the time.
So you don't think you could go to a ski?
No, I could, but I'm going skiing. I'm not going to, I'd have to be going there for something.
For actual skiing. Okay.
But like, I don't see myself wanting to go somewhere cold unless I'm going to go do something in that somewhere cold. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just going to go Russia. So, let me look around Russia.
Yeah. I have no interest in Russia and all those type of places.
Song of the week?
DMX, this Christmas.
Do you know what? DMX.
Oh, he loves that song. He said he's going to tell his children.
Yeah.
He's going to tell his children that's who actually made the song.
He's right.
I'm gonna blackwash history.
Yeah. You know what?
I'm gonna do.
There's so much.
Blackwash history.
There is so much shit we need to talk about in 2023 that we never got to talk about this year.
2022.
Blackwash history.
I'm telling you here, the year we're about to have in 2023,
it's gonna be different,
bro. Just being in certain rooms with certain people, the years that we're about to have in 2023, next level. We're about to
the
take
industry,
it up a notch.
the Irish industry.
Stop that.
In terms of industry, not either.
I know, the industry doing that. I know. I saw him.
I said, let's link, let's work.
Yeah. Imagine. And then he'll be like, oh, she fan of the podcast.
I do say that. I do think she's right. Right. Simisola, thank you for coming on the pod.
You can ask me for my song of the week.
Sorry. I missed yours. What's the song of the week?
Change Man by Be Humble.
Come on. She actually fucked with that song. See, that's why you put the song at the time.
Because I like R&B. So it's...
Right, yeah, mine is DMX's version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Go for it. What?
You know, you actually, oh my god, you have just maybe come to a realization. It's not that unlike Christmas music. I don't like the white Christmas music.
Because when DMX did that same song, it's clap.
Cold. You know
okay,
what?
Destiny's Child's what's that one?
This Christmas.
Oh, This Christmas, Chris Brown. You like that?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, so I just don't like the white people version of.
They just says diversify your fans every time. Every time.
It's fine. There's certain things I just don't fuck with, like techno.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Dance.
Yeah.
Music, I don't like that either.
But the thing is, when they did that on my piano, it was fucking wavy. I'm rooting for everyone black.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, if you got to the end of the pod and you didn't like anything that we said on this podcast, well,
Charge it.
charge it.
Charge it.
Yeah.